Hi folks, this is Vince with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to try out Quantum Chess. It's important to note that the game is still under development, so everything that you're about to see here is subject to change. With that being said, you can find it on Steam's Early Access program for about $10, should you want to pick it up for yourself. Now, this is my first time playing Quantum Chess. I have played regular chess. In fact, I used to be really good at it. I played in tournaments as a kid. I won some trophies. I was even rated second best in Western Pennsylvania for my age group at the time. So yeah, I was pretty darn good, and I know my way around the chessboard. But this game supposedly introduces some new concepts and some new mechanics that are probably going to blow me away. So why don't we try this out and see if I like it. Quantum Chess, let's go ahead and take a look at the settings menu before we get started. Music and sound, that's about it. I have the music off for the sake of the commentary and to prevent copyright issues. Because the game runs on Unity, there was a separate window pop up before the game launched. It allowed me to adjust the screen resolution, toggle full screen, and adjust the graphics quality. So let's go ahead and run through the tutorial real quick and learn what some of these new mechanics are. Okay. Is it still loading? What's going on here? Oh. Silence, this is my domain. I am the almighty Qubit. My name is QB, and I am Qubit. That other guy can be tough to deal with, so I'll have to show you how. It gets kind of lonely down here, so we came up with a game. It's called Quantum Chess. The best way to deal with him is to beat him at our own game, so let's get to it. Welcome to Quantum Chess. You see, it is just like a regular chessboard. You have all the regular chess pieces. Yes, I see. Pawns, rooks, knights, bishops, queen, king. Got it. Let's try moving a piece. Click on this pawn. Okay, I can move 1 or 2 spaces. I get it. Awesome. You can move all of your pieces that way. Choose the space you want to move from, then choose the space you want to move to. Simple, right? Fool, you are not prepared. I suppose it is too much to ask not to be interrupted. Well, now we get to the differences between chess and quantum chess. Some things are the same. All of the pieces still obey the same movement logic. Bishops move in diagonal lines, rooks in straight lines, etc. In quantum chess, you try to kill the king instead of go for checkmate. Well, that's interesting. Yes, puny mortals, afraid of death. Get to the good part already. Hush you, I'm getting there. The big difference is all of your power pieces, pawns not included, have the option of performing a quantum move instead of a standard move. Alright, so what's a quantum move? Haha, are your minuscule mortal brains melting yet? Oh bother. They don't even know what that is yet. Let's try it out, and I'll explain along the way. I'll move a piece first. Alright, so we moved pawn to queen 3 there. Alright, try making a quantum move with the queen. To start a quantum move, long press on the piece. Oh, long press on. Okay, so I have to hold it in. I see. So instead of just clicking once, you have to hold it in. Great. You see how many spaces lit up? With a quantum move, you have a chance to move it up to 2 standard moves away. It is powerful, but it can't be used for attack. Okay, so interesting. So that would make sense, because if I move the queen here with a regular move, I could move it diagonally up this way, but if I move it here, I can move it diagonally this way. These are just a few of the 2 move combinations the queen can make with a quantum move. Okay, try moving here. Perfect. Now you can see the real difference. It looks like you have 2 queens now, but both of them are only half full. These are the same piece, and how full they are tells you how likely you are to find it in that space. What? That's so weird. Okay. So there is a 50% chance that you made 2 moves with the piece, and a 50% chance you didn't move at all. Alright, so you're taking the risk of moving twice or not at all, from the sounds of it. And where is the really... and where is it really, you ask? That's the cool part. It is in both spaces. That is called a superposition. Later in the game, you might look closer and see exactly where it is with a measurement, but first let's try another move. Alright, so he moved... I guess he did a quantum move here? But that doesn't make any sense. I mean, he could have just moved there and be done with it. So why would he quantum move there? Since there is a chance the queen didn't move, let's see what would happen if we move this pawn forward 2 spaces. Click. Now, here's the thing. Let me reason this out logically. If I did that, see, if the queen were here, then the pawn would not be able to move past the queen. Pawns do not jump over other pieces. So that would mean that the queen would more than likely stay on the d1 space. Now it looks like the pawn did a quantum move too, but it didn't. It tried to move forward, but there was a chance that the queen was in the way, like I was saying. So now the position of the pawn depends on the position of the queen. They're entangled. This is so cool. It's going to take me some time to wrap my head around this, but okay. Now I know your feeble minds are melting. I love it. Okay, since things are getting pretty complicated, I'll try a move that will force a closer look. No, I will. I'm going to force a measurement on your queen with my bishop. Okay. So he can move here and then here. What the hell just happened? You see how the probabilities changed. After the move there was a chance the space had both a bishop and a queen in it. Anytime a space has a chance of being occupied by more than the measurement... Okay, so I couldn't read the rest of it. This measurement tried to find the black bishop in the space. Measurements always have 2 outcomes. The board will change based on the outcome, and the outcome depends on the probabilities. Well, I think that is enough for now. The best way to learn is to play. Play with some friends. You'll get used to how things work in no time. Oh, geez. That's it, huh? Alright, so... I guess we need to go back to the menu. Alright, let's try an offline game. 3D. What's the difference between 2D and 3D? Oh, cool! Now can I move the board here? It doesn't look like I can really adjust the camera angle. Okay, well actually I'm using the arrow keys now. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I can press on these here to rotate the board. What's this plus sign? Okay, so that changes between the AI and... Okay. Alright, let's try 2D. It might make it a little bit easier to see everything. Alright. And I think we're not going to play against the computer. I want to play against myself and see how this quantum thing works. Or at least try to understand it. So let's do pawn to king 4. Oops. Now, I can't do a quantum move with my pawn, right? How do I undo that? Oh, I just hold it. Okay, just hold the button in. All I want to do is move the pawn. How do I undo this? How do I undo this? Okay, there we go. Click once. All I want to do is move the pawn. Unless it's red's turn. Does red move first? Unless I have to add a... Oh, I have to add a player. There we go. All right. Player 1, player 2. All right, now let's try it. All right, so pawn to king 4. That's descriptive notation. Algebraic is e2, e4. So let's just do the same thing. Okay. All right, now let's try this. I know my queen could move up here, and then on the move thereafter take this pawn. So let's try a quantum move and take this. Oh wait, I can never use it for attack. That's right. That's right. Okay. I'm going to have to figure out what the advantage would be of using a quantum move like that. Alright, so let's just do a 4 knights defense kind of thing. And get the game rolling a little bit. You might do the bishop there. Okay, so what would happen then if I... Okay, I'm just curious. I could do the knight here, but then I can't use the quantum move, though, to attack. So what would be the point of doing that? Maybe to get myself into a better position later on? Like, I'm trying to figure out the strategy behind quantum moving at all if you cannot take a piece after the fact. I'm trying to figure out why you would want to. So, all right, let's try this. Let's do the queen. We'll quantum move this, and we'll put her here. So she's half on D1 and half on C4. Okay. So on let's just have red move now. We'll just have red move. Something like this. Something simple. Now, what happens now? Does that resolve? It doesn't. I thought this would resolve, so it doesn't resolve yet. All right, so what if I just move something simple? Will this ever resolve by itself? Or does something have to happen in order for this to resolve? So let's say red castle's kingside. Okay, so what if I were to move this queen somewhere else now? Let's say here. This is so weird. Okay. I mean, yes, I could have taken that bishop, but let's try that. Okay, so let's say it was red's turn again. Let's just say move this king over for whatever reason. And let's say I moved. Now I can quantum move this again. Let's try quantum moving this again. So I could move it here, then here, or here, then here. This is mind-boggling, folks. I'm telling you. All right, let's stop. All right, let's just move here first. I want to take this bishop, possibly, and see if anything happens. Let's just say he moves the king back. All right, now can I take this now? Is it going to work? Okay, it worked. Now, could it have been possible for the queen not to be successful in that and stay on D1? Is there a way to undo that? Like, is there odds there? I mean, it was a 50-50 shot, right? All right, let's try. All right, let's try a quantum with red, maybe? I don't know. All right, let's try moving. Let's say I mean, you can move here, then you can move here. Let's say he does this. Now, he's both in this position and this position. So can I then use my pawn to take his knight or my queen and take his knight? Could I do that? Now there's a 50-50 chance that I won't take anything at all, right? Because there's a 50-50 chance that his knight didn't move there at all in the first place. So let's just try that out. Let's go ahead and move. Let's take this. Okay, so what just happened? So the knight didn't. Okay, so like I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and it is very difficult for me to do. I mean, I know my chess, but this is like, holy cow. All right. So what just happened here? I attempted to use my pawn to take his knight. And do these half circles mean anything? I mean, now my pawn is either half here or half here. But it couldn't be here if the knight was never here to begin with, because pawns can only move forward and attack diagonally. They cannot move diagonally. They have to take diagonally. So if the knight was never there in the first place, how... All right, this is where I'm starting to get hung up. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's do... So what, I can't... Oh, is it not my turn? No, that's right, because I took. So what if he moved somewhere else now? Let's say he moved back here. Now, how come this pawn is still here? That should not be possible. I mean, if the knight is still there, like there's only one instance of the knight now. There's no two instances of the other knight. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this. So a piece can be two places at once, but its duplicate can also disappear, leaving only one behind. Maybe it's like maybe it's splitting the piece. Maybe I should look at it as if the piece were being split in half. Maybe that's what I need to think of this as. Maybe. I don't know. So, like, let's... All right. So if I quantum here, that would bring me, like... How would I get there? How... In theory, I could get to this space by taking this pawn. There's no other way to get over there. So let's try it. Wouldn't that mean that this pawn would be in danger of being taken? Now, the odds that I moved here seem to have lessened because it had to have gone here in order for this piece to jump here. There's no other way to get there because this pawn... Well, actually, no, because this pawn may not be here. Or is it? What if I moved this piece out of the way on my next turn? What if I did that? Let's just move this pawn. Okay. Now, what if I moved this pawn up? How does that affect the knight? Does it? It doesn't even affect the knight. Okay. I was thinking that maybe by moving this pawn up, I'd have a better chance of going down than up, as opposed to taking this pawn and then coming back this way. Yeah, I'm still getting a little confused by all this. Obviously. Alright, so... I guess let's quantum with the knight. Maybe move it here. Alright, so it's half here and half here. Now let's try something again. What if I did... Let's move this pawn up. And let's say he didn't see that move. Let's say he brought his pawn up for whatever reason. And let me take this. Now, am I going to take this knight or not? Okay, it's whoever wins this space seems to be whoever has the fuller bar. You'll notice that there's, again, these circles around these pieces. Whoever has the fuller bar seems to win that conflict. Now, if I take this piece here... Now, okay. That's weird. Okay, so it is still half there and half here. And I will take this back, and this pawn will be at half strength, right? How come I can't take this pawn now? Is it not my turn? How come I can only move forward and not... Alright. I'm trying to... Okay, so the piece, this pawn here, just took this piece, right? Just took this piece. So why can't my pawn then take this one? Is it because the pawn here exists here more because its piece is fuller? I don't know. Alright, let's just... Yeah, this game is so strange. Now, this one, again, I can take this knight, but I can't take this pawn. That is so strange. Whoa, everything else just moved. What just happened there? I wish I could see, like, an analysis of why the game is calculating the way it's... I wish I could see how the game is calculating what it's calculating. Is that even possible? Chat and move log. Okay. Because all of these, some of these pawns, like some of them went down. And this pawn did not take the knight like it was going to. Huh. Now this knight, in theory, should be able to take this pawn without losing anything. Whoa. What just happened there? The knight that was here, I had quantumed from here to here, or I had quantum from here to here, So my knight existed in this space and this space, but because I took this pawn, it now exists in this space. And this is so weird. This is like redefining the entire game. I'm gonna have to like really study this. Alright, so this pawn can just take this bishop, fine, whatever. And it wouldn't lose anything because that's just a regular move. Alright, so I want to do more quantums now. Let's say that he quantumed from... Let's say I wanted to move here. I mean, that's a bad move in general because two pawns can take him. Can they? Now, what would happen if I did? Let's test that out. So let's say that this pawn was like, okay, let's take this knight. Now, what would happen? Alright, so that knight is gone. This pawn is in two spaces at once now, yes? Or no? Can this pawn now take this queen? Is that possible? Or no? Can this queen take this pawn? And this knight is like... Okay, so what about this knight now? Can I quantum again? Looks like I can quantum again. So if I were to quantum here... Whoa. What just happened? Okay, so I quantumed... Okay, so initially, I quantumed from the E5 space to the B6 space. That caused my knight to be in two places at once. So it was half on E5 and half on B6. This pawn on A7 took my knight and was half at A7 and B6. So, as a regular move, this should just take the knight and be done. Yeah, okay. Huh. Yeah, this is so weird. Okay. Let's try quantuming again. Let's just say I wanted a quantum up. Alright, to get to this space, I'd have to move here and then here. Now, does that mean that this pawn could then take... No, I guess not. Okay, so... Now what? Can this pawn could take that? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that though. Again, I'm just playing for fun, trying to figure this out. Let's say this pawn moves up. Now, is this pawn... Now, what if I did knight takes pawn over here? Would that knight then disappear? And then this one be taken? Or would this knight not move at all? Let's find out. This is a half a knight, and this is a full circle. So I'm wondering if this knight just won't move. No, it moved. Okay. So it went from... It quantumed from here... Or it went from here to here via quantum. And then I took this piece, and then this shadow of itself disappeared and reappeared here because I took that piece. So I guess a piece will solidify into one piece again once there is a conflict on the board, when two pieces are occupying the same space. But how to use that to my advantage and the strategies behind that is something that I... Don't ask. Don't ask me for strategies because I'm obviously still not getting it. All right, let's quantum this guy out of here. Now, here's the thing. I could just move the knight from here to here, right? But this knight would probably take me. Queen could take back, yes. But let's say I wanted to move further in. Or let's just say I wanted to do something crazy like this. All right, so this pawn could take that knight now. Yes? Yes. So would the pawn take the knight? Now, if I took the knight, that means that this shadow would disappear, and this pawn would end up staying here, at half here and half here, right? Okay, only a fourth of it moved, because the knight was only at a quarter strength. So, yeah, I have to get used to... The circle around the pieces also seems to it's like you have to take that into consideration too whenever pieces are combining with one another. All right, so if this bishop, what if this bishop were to take this piece down here? Would this one then disappear? I think so. It didn't. And the reason for that is because there is a chance that it couldn't make that move because this pawn, this pawn was occupying two spaces at once. The bishop does not jump over pieces. So the bishop, in order to take this piece, could not have jumped over this. But there's a chance that this pawn wasn't here to begin with. A 25% chance. So there's a 75% chance that it was able to take this piece. So if this rook were to take this bishop, how would the odds play out then? Alright, well, it took that bishop. But what about this now? Okay, that means that that bishop... So I guess in that scenario, that means the pawn... No. If this rook was able to take that bishop, that means that this pawn shouldn't have been there. Which means that this bishop should be able to take the rook. Oh, my head hurts. Okay. Quantum chess, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, I've got more work to do to figure out how this all plays out. I'm going to have to read up on this a bit more, play it a bit more. If you folks have any ideas on how to understand what I'm looking at here, I mean, I'm a chess player. I know my chess. I've played in tournaments. I've got trophies to prove it. But this quantum chess is a little confusing, I gotta say. I think a better tutorial or a more interactive one explaining things. Yes, there is a tutorial, but I think it could use more work to get players to understand. Because even a seasoned vet like me who knows how to play chess, I'm totally at a loss. Well, maybe not totally, but there's a 75% chance that I don't know still what the concepts are. So I'm going to have to play this a bit more, monkey around with it a bit more. Stay tuned. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my official website, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.